Chapter 2. There's not a cloud in the sky, and it's boiling hot. Wiley Womack's snow cone stand is across the parking lot, under the giant elm tree, and the idea is real tempting to let go of Tara's hand and bolt for it. But that would kill any chance I would ever have with Scarlet. Sheriff Levi Fetterman drives by, making his afternoon rounds. He slows down and looks our way. His riding dog, Duke, sits in the passenger seat. Duke is Sheriff Levi's favorite adoptee. Anytime someone in Antler finds a stray cat or dog, they call the sheriff to pick up the animal and take it to the pound. Sheriff Levi can't bear to dump a dog, and because of that, he has a couple dozen dogs living on his 1-acre place a mile out of town. However, cats are a different story. They go straight to the pound. Sheriff Levi waves at us, then heads on his way. He drives all the way down Main Street and turns toward the highway. Finally, the skinny guy selling tickets moves to the top step in front of the trailer door. Even though he smokes a pipe, his baby face, braces, and tucks make him look like he's ready for the 8th grade formal. From the front, his hair looks short, but he turns and I notice a ponytail hangs down his back. "Welcome, fine folks," he yells like a carnival barker. His voice is older than his face, deep and clear like a DJ's. "Step this way to see Zachary Beaver, the fattest boy in the world, 643 pounds. You don't have to rush, but keep in mind others behind you want a look too. My name is Polly Rankin, and I'll be happy to take your questions." "And your money too," Cal says out of the corner of his mouth. "By the way, can you loan me $2? I nod and peel $2 from my wallet. Tara jumps and jumps. I can't wait, I can't wait. Do you think he's fatter than Santa?" "How would I know?" I grumble. Cal kneels next to her. "I'll bet he's 3 times fatter than Santa." Her eyes grow big. "Ooh, that's real fat." Cal likes little kids, but then he sometimes acts like one. Maybe because he's the youngest in the family. He has 2 brothers and 1 sister. His oldest brother, Wayne, is in the Army, serving in Vietnam. He's the kind of big brother I wish I had. Wayne writes to Cal every week, but Cal is so lazy he hardly ever writes him back. If I had a brother in Vietnam that wrote me letters saying what a neat brother I was, I'd always write him back. Cal reads every letter to me. Wayne never says anything about the kind of stuff we see on the news. No blood and guts. He writes about home. How he misses laying in bed, listening to Casey Kasem and Wolfman Jack on the radio. How he wishes he could eat a Bahama Mama snow cone from Wiley Womack's stand and let the syrup run down his fingers. And how the worst day of his life, before he got drafted, was the day he missed catching that fly ball during the Bucks-Cardinals game because he was too busy watching some girl walk up the stands in her pink hot pants. He says he'd live that day over 100 times if it meant he could come back home. Wayne makes Antler sound like the best place on the face of the earth. Sometimes he even adds, "P.S. Tell your buddy Toby I said hey." The line moves slowly, and when people exit the trailer, some come out all quiet, like they've been shaken up at a revival. A few say things like, "Lord mercy." Others joke and laugh. Finally, we make it to the front door. I hand Polly Rankin $4 and glance down at Tara. Legs crossed, she's bouncing like crazy. Polly pulls the pipe out of his mouth. "Hey, that kid doesn't have to go, does she?" "Do you?" I ask her, not intending to sound as mean as it comes out. She shakes her head, making her 2 tiny blonde ponytails flop like puppy ears. "She better not," says Polly. He rubs his chin and watches her suspiciously as we climb the trailer steps. I grit my teeth and repeat Polly's warning, "You better not." The cramped trailer smells like Pine Sol and Lemon Pledge, and it's dark except for a lamp and sunlight slipping between the crack in the curtains. A drape hangs at one end, hiding the space behind it, and in the middle of the trailer sits the largest human being I've ever seen. Zachary Beaver is the size of a 2-man pup tent. His short black hair tops his huge moon face like a snug cap that's 2 sizes too small. His skin is pale as buttermilk, and his hazel eyes are practically lost in his puffy cheeks. Wearing huge pull-on pants and a brown t-shirt, he sits in front of a television, watching Password, drinking a giant chocolate milkshake. A TV guide rests on his lap, and a few stacks of books and Newsweek magazines are at his feet, along with a sack of Lay's potato chips. 3 plexiglass walls box him in. The walls aren't very high, but I figure they keep brats like Tara from poking him. After all, he's not the Pillsbury Doughboy. A sign in the corner of one wall reads, "Don't touch the glass." But if someone does, a squirt bottle of glass cleaner and a roll of paper towels are next to the TV. There's no denying it. This place is clean with a capital C, and with the exception of a dusty bookcase filled with encyclopedias and other books, it's as sterile as a hospital. A gold cardboard box is on the center shelf by itself. It seems weird standing here staring at someone because they look different. Wiley Womack is the strangest looking person in Antler, but I'm so used to seeing his crooked body riding around town in his beat-up golf cart that I don't think about him looking weird. Miss Myrtle May steps forward, lifting her camera. "Mind if I take a few pictures?" "Yes, I do," the fat kid says. Miss Myrtle May lets the camera drop to her chest. "You like books, I see. I work at the Antler Library." Zachary Beaver ignores her. For once, Tara's quiet, but Cal is anything but speechless. He wants to know everything. Like a red-headed woodpecker, he pecks, 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 trying to make a dent. "How much do you eat?" he asks Zachary. "As much as I can." "How old are you?" "Old enough." "Where do you go to school?" "You're looking at it." Zachary never once smiles or looks us in the eye. He focuses on the game show. Then Cal asks, "What's in the gold box?" Zachary ignores him, his gaze dragging across Cal's face. I wish Cal would shut up. Besides embarrassing me, his questions sound mean. But Zachary only looks bored and kind of irritated, like someone swishing away a fly. I don't ask questions, but I think them. Like, how did he get inside the trailer? He's way too wide to fit through the door. Tara's stupid chant plays over and over in my mind. "Fatty, fatty, 2x4, can't get through the kitchen door." I'm surprised she hasn't started singing it. I look down at her. Her bugged-out eyes water, and one hand covers her mouth. The other is locked between her crossed legs. A yellow stream trickles down her leg and wets her white keds. I jump back. "Jeez!" Zachary looks up from the TV, his eyes flashing, his wide nostrils flaring. "Do I smell pee? Did that kid pee in here?" He points toward the exit, the flesh on his arms flapping as he punches his finger in the air. "Get her out of here!" Every eye in the trailer stares at us, except Cal, who is snooping around, picking up stuff. I want to yank Tara by her ponytails, punt her like a football, and send her sailing through the air across the street toward her house to knock down Juan as he arrives at Scarlett's door. Instead, I grab Tara's hand, the one that covers her mouth, and whip through the exit past the waiting crowd. Taking long strides so that Tara must run to keep from falling, I cross 2 streets to her house, where Juan sits on the left side of the porch swing, holding Scarlett's hand, his number 5 iron at his feet, and he wears a white t-shirt with "Don't Mess with Supermex" printed in ink across the front. "He was so fat," yells Tara, running inside her house. A great big wet spot covers the rear end of her shorts. This has got to be my lowest moment ever. I swerve around, trying to avoid Juan and Scarlett, but it's too late. Juan calls out, "Hey man, I didn't know you babysat."